everyone. Welcome to your Yoga for Mobility and Recovery. This is our second video in the series, and we will be revisiting some of the movements that we did in the first class and adding on. This class will have more of a hips focus, so working with mobility in the hips. Again, those four aspects of mobility that we're going to be focusing on: flexibility, strength, body awareness, where we are in space, and then also body coordination, so coordinating our movements with our breath. And so again, do remember that the breath is the most important, and we adjust the movement according to what our breath is telling us, how we're feeling in the body. A couple of props that you might want to have: if you have a firm blanket or a firm cushion at home, you might have that to sit on or to use for support for the knees. And then also a block, whether it be a foam block like this one. You could also use a chair or a stack of books that are taped together or firmly secured so that you don't go sliding around. All right, so we will start on our backs in constructive rest. All right, so coming on to the back. Constructive rest is having the knees bent, the feet nice and wide, and let the knees touch at center. This allows the hip flexors to relax. You don't have to work so hard to hold the knees up. Let's take a few moments here to start to settle in. So if you'd like to wiggle around a little bit, move around a little bit to feel more comfortable, then please do so. And take a few deep breaths in through the nose. Fill up the belly and out through the mouth. Welcome to sigh if you'd like to. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Just transition from whatever you've been doing today already to now. Notice how it feels to be in your body today at this time. If there are any limitations or sensitivities you're working with, let's commit to be mindful and to be compassionate with those areas of the body. Take good care of them today. And from here, bring the feet a little closer together. We'll take a full body stretch. So extend the legs long, reach the arms up and overhead, stretch. You can point and flex the feet here. You can roll through the ankles. You're welcome to reach through one side of the body, so reaching the right heel away from the right arm, and then the left heel away from the left arm. Nice full stretch. Great, and then release the arms down by the side. So we'll place the feet flat to the floor, and then take your block or your firm cushion or your book, and go ahead and place it between the knees here. Arms down by the sides, palms face down. So your arms and shoulders are active. They are pressing down into the floor. Feet are planted into the floor. And as we inhale, soften the belly, soften around the block or the cushion. And as you exhale, gradually squeeze the block and press your low back down. As you inhale, soften the belly, soften around the block. And as you exhale, gradual pressure on the block. Pull your belly in to press your low back down. And then inhale to soften the belly down through the inner thighs and the knees. So it's a gradual engagement from the knees up through the belly button, and then a gradual release from the belly button down through the knees. And keep going here, just waking up these little muscles that stabilize us in our standing postures, our balancing postures. Help to stabilize through the hips and the pelvis as well, so we're not overworking the bigger muscles. We're able to use all of the muscles mindfully and in tandem with each other. The next time you squeeze, go ahead and stay, so keep pressure on that block. We're not gripping, it's a gentle squeeze. Really plant your feet into the floor, press your arms down. And then as you inhale, squeeze your glutes and lift your hips. So it's not a hip thrust at all, it's a lift of the hips. And then as we exhale, we lower the hips back down. So push into the feet, squeeze your blocks, squeeze the glutes, lift your hips, press into your arms. And as you exhale, slowly lower the hips back down. And then we keep going. So push into the feet, squeeze your block, squeeze your glutes, and then slowly lower back down. So go slower than you want to go. This ensures that we engage the muscles again mindfully, gradually, without gripping. And we start to strengthen and tone rather than increase tension around the hips and the pelvis. Your breath pace may be different than mine, so feel free to go at your own breath pace here. But the breath stays smooth and even. The next time you lift your hips, go ahead and stay. So again, it's not the highest you can lift your hips. It's a sustainable lift so that you feel the glutes working, you feel the inner thighs, the low belly working, right? Everything is contained here. And then nice steady gaze up towards the sky. And as you inhale, soften the upper belly. And as you exhale, gather the low belly in and up. So inhale to soften the upper belly. Exhale to squeeze the glutes, gather the low belly in and up. Just a few more breaths here. Hope that you feel a little bit of warmth, a little bit of fatigue, a little bit of work around the hips here. Last breath here. Really press into the arms and hands to help you. When you're ready, lift your heels and start to round down your spine from the upper back down to the middle back, down to the lower back and the hips. And then finally lower the heels. Move that block or cushion off to one side, and we'll widen the feet and just let the knees sway from side to side. So this is our body coordination moment here. So we coordinate the movement so that it's nice and smooth. Okay, no jerky movements here, nice and smooth. Massage along the back of the hips. Release through the inner thighs, the low belly, the glutes. And then from here, we'll roll over onto our right side. So I'm on my right side. You can certainly do the left side first, but we'll do both sides, all right? If you have a block or a cushion that you want to place underneath your head, you can. Kind of keep the head in line with the spine. And then we have options here. The arms are going to be out in front of us with one fist clasped by the other hand, right? The bottom knee, so my right knee can be bent if I feel a little unstable in the hips, or that bottom leg can be straight. We want to keep the hips stacked. So this is core work as well as hip work here. I'm going to keep the left hip stacked on top of the right. We're going to be moving through this top leg, making some rotations through the hip, okay? So bottom leg bent or straight, top leg straight, and then flex your feet, all right? Arms nice and strong. As you're ready, exhale, draw that top knee towards your chest, up towards the sky, keep the hips stacked, turn that heel back like you want to kick the wall behind you, and then lower that top knee to meet the bottom. Draw the knee into the chest, up to the sky. Again, keep the hips stacked, don't let them roll back. Turn that foot back, and then lower the knee back down. And you might need to look at your hips to make sure that they're staying stacked. So we ensure we're using the core and the hip muscles that we want to isolate. You can certainly take this movement on your forearms and your knees as well. You can also do this movement standing. It's a little more of a balance challenge. And then when you're ready, we'll switch directions. So about 4 to 6 to each side is plenty. Less is more with many of these movements. All right, mindfully moving through the range of motion to offer more strength, again, body awareness and coordination. Last round or so. Again, go slower than you want to go. We tend to want to move through these quickly. So go slower than you want to go, and then we'll rest. Bend both knees. You can give your hip a little massage, a little pat here. Good job. And then as you're ready, we'll go to the other side. So you can just turn over if you like. I'm going to keep facing you. Rest your head so that the head is in line with the spine. And again, this bottom knee can be bent for a little more stability. Arms reach out in front of you as a kickstand, or that bottom leg can be straight. Flex your feet, stack your hips, and as you're ready, draw that top knee in towards you as close as you can. Out and up, keep the hips stacked. Draw that foot back, knees in line, and then lower the knee to the bottom knee. Okay? Moving slower than you want to go. Make sure you're breathing, not holding the breath in any way. So you'll feel as you bring the knee up towards the chest, the belly working, sideways working. Feel the outer hip working as you draw that knee up, and glutes, back of the glutes working as you move the knee back and down. And after about 4 to 6 rounds in your own time, go ahead and switch directions. You may find that you wobble a little bit or a lot as you start out in this exercise. It is a balance. All right, it does work through the core muscles here to stabilize you. So with a little practice, the body starts to become more aware and able to coordinate the movement. Great. And then bend both knees. Again, give yourself a little massage here, a little pat. And we'll come up to seated. So this movement can certainly be done in a chair with some variation if sitting on the floor is not comfortable for you. And we'll sit nice and tall here, hands behind us, feet nice and wide, and about a 90-degree angle behind the knees here. So sit up nice and tall, and then as you inhale, move your knees over to the right, and as you exhale, draw your belly in, and then bring the knees back to center. And then move the knees over to the left. Draw your belly in to pull the knees back to center and set that back hip down. All right, and then keep going. What tends to happen here is if we're not aware, we start to walk ourselves forward, all right, up to the top of our mat. So how we can compensate or really use the muscles well is as we move to one side, we draw the belly in, send that hip way back so the sit bone sits right back where it was before, okay? So I'm moving this hip back, all right, so I'm not walking forward with the hips, I'm staying in one spot. And you'll find, all right, that works, those hip stabilizer muscles, all of those little muscles around the hips and the core a little bit more effectively. We're not being lazy about it, so to speak. All right, now you can stay right here, all right, with your hands on the ground to support you, or you can bring the hands up loosely, elbows loose, and move from side to side here. Again, sending that hip way back to set it right down where you left it before. Okay? These are great if we tend to sit a lot, stand a lot. It's into lots of different little novel movements in the hip. Nice, let's add on. So we'll move the knees over to the right, and then sitting up nice and tall or leaning forward. If you have that range of motion, a little stretch. Push this front heel, front shin down to support you, and then come back up. Hands behind you or hands in front of you. Set that left hip down, and then move to the other side. Sit up nice and tall here. This may be enough of a stretch, or you can lean forward. Again, push that shin and foot into the floor to support you, and then come back up. And then other side. Sitting up nice and tall, or leaning forward with a tall spine. Move nice and slow so you feel every little muscle movement along the way here. And do remember to press that shin into the floor as you lean forward. So we're gaining some muscle tone and awareness there as well. Okay, let's go over to the right again, knees at a 90-degree angle. And then from here, use your fingertips on the floor as kickstands here, sit up nice and tall. As you inhale, we'll lift this left knee any amount, and then exhale to lower. Inhale to lift, and exhale to lower. So push down into this front shin, or outer calf, if you want a little bit more toning, okay? Lifting and lowering. Again, about 5 to 8 rounds is usually enough. Right? Start with 5, only work up to 8. And then press this knee down. As you inhale, lift. You see it's not going to be much. Lift that back foot, at least not much for me. And then lower down. The tendency is to want to lean forward, all right? But try to stay sitting up nice and tall and simply engage the muscle here to intend to lift that back foot up and then release it down. Again, for me, this one is hard, but hopefully you feel that engagement in this outer hip here. Whew. Nice, and then go ahead and come back to center and just sway the knees from side to side for a moment to release. All right, let's take those movements on the other side. So let the knees go over to the left, about a 90-degree angle here. Sit up nice and tall. Push this front foot, or lower leg, I should say, into the floor. And then as you inhale, lift that back knee any amount. As you exhale, lower. Inhale to lift, and exhale to lower. And so move throughout your breath. So move throughout the inhale, and then throughout your exhale. Okay, all of you with your workout regimens have, and maybe yoga regimens, have a nice, strong, steady breath. So follow that breath with the movement. And then we'll press the knee down. This is the humbler. Lift that back foot. Try to keep your chest lifted over the hips, and then lower. Lift and lower. This one is a little bit, I can lift it about 1 millimeter more than the other side. It's probably because my right hip is usually tighter than my left. Whew. And then when you're ready, feel a little fatigue, release, and again, sit back on the hands and just let the knees move from side to side. And so we take these moments, these breaks to rest so that we don't hold tension. Tension is very different than engagement, very different than strength. So we want to release tension here as much as we can in between our movements. Okay, let's get into the front of the thighs here. We'll take a movement that we did at the last session. So you can have a blanket underneath the knees if the floor is hard or the knees are sensitive. And we'll take those lean backs. Now, if standing on the knees is not good for you, then you can do the same seated, all right? And we move in this pattern here. Okay? So I'm going to be kneeling, you can be seated. Choose which works for you. And then bring the hands in front of you across the chest. All right? Gather your inner thighs towards one another. Gentle squeeze the glutes, lift up through the low belly. So we're all contained through the center of the body here. And as you inhale, lean back. Sweep that right arm back. Exhale, come forward. Inhale, lean back. It doesn't need to be far. I'm just going a few inches. Reach back with the opposite arm. And then shoulders, hips over the knees. Lean back, twist, come forward, and reset. Notice that my butt's not going back, all right? I'm in one long line from the head down through the knees to ensure that I'm using the core, the fronts of the thighs, and not putting undue pressure on the back. Again, about 5 to 8 rounds each way. You can always slow this video down or pause or even speed it up if you need a different pace. The beauty of YouTube and playback speeds. I'm going to take one more round to each side. And then you can sit back on the heels or sit on sit bones and rest. Let's take an inhale and an exhale here. Notice maybe a little bit of burning in the front of the thighs and the belly. And then we'll come to standing. So you move your block to one side, or excuse me, blanket to one side for now. Stand up nice and tall. And from here, we'll widen the knees, widen the feet, and bring the hands to just above the knees. And go ahead and lock your arms out. So I see some people doing this and it makes it really hard. So if you can, lock out your elbows. You can also do this at a wall, placing your hands on a wall and bending the knees a little bit. So we're going to take cat and cow here in a standing position. So as you inhale, let your chest lift. And as you exhale, push into your feet and your hands and round your spine. All right? So inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, push into your feet and round your spine. Inhale and exhale. And then keep going with your breath. So a little bit of movement for the spine, getting into flexion and extension here. We'll do a little bit of twisting and side bending as well. You can also take this cat-cow seated, right? Or on the hands and the knees in tabletop position. Last few rounds here. And then rise up to standing, roll your shoulders up towards your ears, back and down. Turn the toes out, feet nice and wide. Let your arms be floppy. And then we'll take our twist. So lift the heel that you're turning away from. You can look straight ahead if you want to get a little rotation in the neck. You can also let the head go with you. All right, and look back over that back shoulder. But again, try not to hold the arms up, okay? Let your arms be floppy. Let them take that momentum of the twist here. You can let the arms go a little higher, tap yourself on the shoulder, give yourself a pat on the back for being here today. You can let the hands go lower, tap the hips or the waist. But again, let's let the arms be floppy and heavy here. All right, now we'll get a little more tone into the arms. So start to draw one elbow back. And make a fist and draw that elbow back as you twist. You can go faster or slower than I do, just keeping the movement under control. And if you'd like, you can add a squat in between. So twist, squat, twist, squat, twist, squat. Getting back into the hips and the legs a little bit, as well as the spine. So take it where you like. A few more rounds here. Getting the whole body moving. And then slowly tick-tock your way back to center. Widen your feet, turn your toes forward this time. And as you inhale, reach the arms wide and up overhead. Release your right arm down. Press that right hand into the right thigh. Lift your left arm up. And as much as you slide that right hand down, keep lifting, reaching through that left arm. You can even look up to remind yourself to reach up rather than collapse here. All right, so keep lifting up, reaching up through that top arm as you side bend. Breathe here, push into both feet. And then as if someone's pulling up on that top hand, come all the way up with a tall spine. Reach your right arm up now. Release your left arm down. Hand presses into the thigh. And as much as you slide that hand down, reach up through that top arm. Keep reaching up through that top arm. Look up or down. Push into both feet. Legs are active. So we're not collapsing into gravity here. We're actually trying to push and reach away from the floor. Nice. And then reach up to come on back up. Roll the shoulders out. Shake it out. Shift the hips from side to side. Shake out the feet. And we'll take a little bit of a flow. So we'll go slowly at first, putting all of these kind of rotations of the hips, movements together. And then we'll go breath to movement. All right, so have a little fun with it. Go at your own pace. So we're going to come to the top of our mats if you're using one. Standing up nice and tall. I'm going to come near the heater here. It's cold where I am today. Standing up nice and tall in mountain pose. So feet about hip or outer hip distance apart. We're standing with intention. Arms down by the sides. Push down into the feet as you lift up through the chest. Roll the shoulders up, back and down. We gaze straight ahead. So again, active stance, intentional standing here. And then find your breath. So inhale and exhale. Next time you inhale, reach the arms wide and up overhead. And then reach the arms wide and down. Place your hands to your hips. And send your right foot back into a lunge. All right? So you can keep your back heel down if that grounds you. It's a little bit more stable. You can keep this back heel lifted, a little more challenging to the balance. Okay? So coming into this crescent lunge here, lift up nice and tall. You can even press your hands down into your hips to lift up in the spine a little bit. And then we're going to rotate this back knee out to a squat. So hands come to heart center here. Knees move out wide, coming into your squat. Nice. Rotate that back knee forward again, back into your crescent lunge. Reach your arms up. So nice long line from your pinky fingers down through that back heel. And then hands to heart center, lean forward, step up, mountain pose. All right, shake it out. Just a little taste of our first flow here. Mountain pose. Inhale, reach the arms up. Hands reach for the hips, lift your chest. And then step back with your left foot to your lunge. So just kind of testing things out, testing our balance today. It changes, at least for me, from day to day. You can ground your back heel if you like, if it's more stable, or keep that heel lifted. Push your hands down into your hips to lift your chest. And then bring your hands to the heart. Rotate that back knee out to your goddess squat here. I like to shift from side to side the first couple times I do this. Just kind of feel where I want my feet to be. Move the knees out and away from each other. And when you're ready, rotate that back knee forward again. Reach your arms up, crescent lunge. Feel that length from your pinky fingers down through the back body, through your back heel. And then hands to your hips, lean forward and step up. Mountain pose, shake it out. All right, so that's our flow, beginning of our flow. We'll add on a little bit here in a moment. So let's try that breath to movement, using all these stabilizer muscles around the hips. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to your hips. Shift your weight, step your right foot back into your lunge, lift your chest. Hands to the heart, open the knees out. Nice. Turn that back knee forward, back to your lunge, reach the arms up. And then hands come to the heart, lean forward and step up, mountain pose. Inhale, sweep the arms up. Exhale, hands to the hips. Soften the knees, send your left foot back into your lunge. Lift your chest. And then open that back knee out, goddess squat. Inhale. Exhale, turn forwards. Reach the arms up, crescent lunge. And then hands to heart center, lean forward and step up. Nice work. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, lift your chest, step that right foot back, exhale. Inhale, open the knees, hands to the heart. You can take your breath at your own time. If your breath is different pace than mine, then take your own breath pace. Turn that back knee forward, reach up, inhale. Hands to the heart, exhale, lean forward, step up. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, lift your chest, step your left foot back, exhale. Inhale, open to your goddess squat. Exhale, turn that back knee forward. Inhale, reach the arms up. Exhale, hands to heart, shift forward and step up. Nice. We can add on a balance here now. So inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, lift your chest, step that right foot back. Exhale. Inhale, goddess squat. Exhale, turn forward to your lunge. This time, reach up, crescent lunge. Hands to the heart, lean forward, and then step up so this right heel is to the left ankle, toes on the ground. Okay, so looks like this. Okay. Nice. And then place the foot down. Inhale, reach up, tall mountain. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, lift your chest, step your left foot back. Exhale, inhale, goddess squat. Lift your chest. Exhale, crescent lunge. Woo. Inhale, reach up. And then hands to heart center, shift forward, left heel to the right ankle. Toes on the ground. And then step the foot down quietly. All right? We'll add a variation onto that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift the chest, step your right foot back. Exhale. Inhale, goddess squat. Exhale, lunge. Reach the arms up, inhale. And then hands to heart center. You can step the heel to the ankle again or cross this ankle above the knee for figure 4. And then release the foot to the floor quietly, mountain pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to the hips. Inhale, lift your chest, step back. Exhale. Inhale, goddess squat. Knees move out, chest lifts. Rotate that back knee forward, reach the arms up. Hands to the heart, lean forward a bit to step up. Heel to ankle or ankle above the knee. Okay? Notice that I flex my lifted foot here to support the knee. Little balance here. And then release the foot down. Inhale, sweep up. Exhale, hands to hips. Inhale, lift your chest, step back, right foot. On your next inhale, goddess squat. Back to your lunge. Inhale, reach up. Hands to the heart. Lean forward, shift forward to your choice of balance. Toes on the floor or ankle above the knee. Final option here is to sit back into this figure 4 chair shape. Really working the flexibility, the strength, body awareness, coordination around the hips. And then stand up, set that right foot down, mountain pose. Inhale, reach up. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, lift your chest, step your left foot back. Ooh, exhale. Inhale, goddess squat, chest lifts, knee out. Turn that back knee forward to your lunge. Inhale, reach up, strong legs. Hands to the chest, lean forward, step up to your choice of balance. Welcome to stay lifted. If the foot's off of the floor and hooked, you're welcome to sit back. And then stand in mountain pose. Nice. I'll be a little more quiet this time. We'll take it one more time to each side so you can play with it on your own. Go at your own pace and have fun with it. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, lift the chest, step back. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale to your balance. And stay for a few breaths. Mountain pose. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. And step to your choice of balance. Breathing here. And step quietly to mountain pose. Arms down by the sides. Take a moment here, soften the backs of the knees, find your breath. Let your breath be as fast or slow as it needs to be now. For all of that standing work, lots of balance work. We begin to make our way to the floor. So if you're welcome to be in a chair again, you're also welcome to be on the floor. We're going to come towards the back of our mats here with the legs out straight, or you can come towards the back of your chair. Legs out as straight as you like. All right, hands can be on the floor to support you, or again, those soft fists, soft elbows in front of you. We're going to take some walking with the hips here. So you're going to walk one sit bone forward and then the other. And just kind of massages through the hip socket here, releases some tension after all that standing and balance work. And then start to walk yourself back. So depending on whether you're in a chair, please don't walk off of your chair. Be mindful, you may only go 3 or 4 scoots forward and back, that's fine. So it gives a little massage again to the hips, the low back as well. Great, and once you feel a little bit loosened up there, go ahead and come to the center of your mat or the center of your chair. And go ahead and bend your knees, place your feet flat to the floor, hands behind the knees. Take some spinal rolls here. So if it's helpful to have a block or a firm cushion between the knees to give you some feedback, then please do so. Inhale, lift your chest, draw your elbows back. Exhale, squeeze that block and round just off of the tailbone. Inhale, come back up, lift your chest. Exhale to round just off of the tailbone. So about a quarter spinal roll. And again, if you've got that block or cushion, you can squeeze in and kind of feel that containment, that stability there. Now you're welcome to stay right here if this feels good for you. If you're on the floor, you're welcome to take a half spinal roll, kind of coming onto the low back, using your hands to help you come back up and lift. And then squeeze the block, rolling back down, using your hands to help you to come back up. Okay, just a few rounds here. And you're also welcome to go a little bit further just to the tips of the shoulder blades here. Use your hands, your belly to help you come back up to a nice tall spine. Great. And when you're ready, we'll come down onto our back fully. Make sure you've got a blanket nearby, all right, for later. And we'll take a few stretches on the ground here. So draw your right knee in towards your chest. You can hug behind that right knee, and the left foot's on the floor. So this is nerve flossing, hamstring nerve flossing. So we're not necessarily looking for a big stretch. We're looking to kind of give a little massage, so to speak, to that nerve on the back of the leg. So as you're ready, go ahead and flex your foot, extend that leg any amount, and then point the foot and lower the heel back down. So you don't have to feel a big stretch. Flex your foot, extend, point the foot, and bend. Right? So the goal actually is not to feel this super stretch. Again, we're trying to get a neural glide here at the back of the leg to release some tension. If you've got some soreness, some pain, it can help to kind of, again, massage that nerve a little bit. And just about 5 rounds is enough. We don't want to do these too much. And then set that right foot to the floor. Less is more. Draw your left knee in. As you're ready, flex your foot. Exhale, extend. Again, notice I'm not straightening my leg. I can, all right, but I'm not straightening it. I'm just trying to get into the nerve there. Flex the foot, extend, point the foot, and bend. Last round. And release. Set the feet down. Again, if you've got your block or blanket, firm cushion, we'll take one more bridge. Just kind of bring everything back together. Heels close to the seat, shoulders tucked underneath you. Press your palms and your feet down as you squeeze your block and lift your hips. If you'd like a little more chest opener, you can shimmy the shoulders underneath you, come up high onto the outer shoulders. But again, we're not looking for a hip thrust here. We're looking for a nice long line, nice engagement in the back body. Inhale and exhale here. You might close the eyes. Feel that you are strong, you are stable. You're also pliable and flexible. So bridges need to be stable, but they also need to have a little bit of give in them. Kind of take the weather, the weight that goes over them every day. So we need to be a little bit flexible as well. Go ahead and lift your heels, start to lower down the spine, one vertebra at a time. If you do have a block or a blanket, you can use this for supported bridge now. Slide that block on its low height and wide underneath the hips so you feel fully supported. And set the hips down here. Palms can face up now. And as you inhale, feel the block, the cushion, the floor rise up to meet you. And as you exhale, feel yourself settle and get heavier, melt into that support. Each exhale, soften the muscles around the bones. Start to feel everything kind of slow down. Last few breaths here. And then press down into the feet. Squeeze the glutes just enough to lift the hips and move that block to one side. Go ahead and set the hips back down. You can sway the knees a little bit from side to side, so not a full twist, just a little sway. And we'll come back to where we started in constructive rest. So widen the feet, let the knees touch at center. If it's chilly in your space like it is in mine, you might take a blanket over the body. I'm going to sit up as you stay reclined. So help yourself to be warm and comfortable, okay? As we're here for just about a minute. If you have more time, I highly recommend, if you've got 5 minutes, 10 minutes to rest here, just that time is so soothing and nourishing and really helps the body, the nervous system, to initiate or continue that recovery process and continue that throughout your day. But we'll take a minute here just to let the breath be easy, the mind rest, and the body rejuvenate from your practice. 1 minute here. Halfway through our time, come back to your breath, resting the mind, resting the body. And again, if you have more time, I highly encourage you to stay. Rest. I wish you recovery, quick recovery, or recovery in good time, I should say. That you take good care of your body and your mind, and I look forward to seeing you for our next practice.